सर्व भक्त वृंद की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। So we are going to read from Canto 3, Chapter 30. Before that, please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So we are going to cover a lot of text, but they are very small ones, starting from 22. So this chapter is about description of adverse fruitive activities. By Kapiladev Muni, he is explaining to his mother. So text number 22. Shruta Trut Parito Ksha Davana La Nilahe Santapya Manaha Pathi Tat Tapta Valuke Kritrena Prishte Kashaya Cha Tadita Chalatya Shakto Pi Nira Shramodake Shatrut Parito Kadanavala Nilehi Shrutru Tat Parito Kardanavana Lilehi Santapyamanah Pathi Tattvavaluke Santaptamanah Pathi Taptavaluke Krichrena Prishte Kashaya cha Taditas Krichrena Prishte Kashaya cha Taditas Chalatya Shaktopi Nirashramodake Chalatya Shaktopi Nirashramodake Shrututrat Parito Kardavana La Nilehi Santapyamanah Pathi Taptavaluke Krichrena Prishte Kashaya cha Taditas चलत्यशक्तोऽपि निराश्रमोदके. Prabhuji. श्रितृप्तपरितो कर्दनावालालिलैः सन्तप्यमानः पथितप्तवालुके. कृच्छ्रेण पृष्ठे कषया च ताडितस्. चलत्यशक्तो पृष्ठे तके. श्रितृप्तपरितो कर्दनावालिलैः सन्तप्यमानः पतितप्तवालुके. कृच्छ्रेण पृष्ठे कषया च ताडितस्. चलत्यशक्तोऽपि निराश्रमोदके. श्रुतृप्तपरितो कर्दनावालिलैः सन्तप्यमानः पतितप्तवालुके. कृच्छ्रेण पृष्ठे कषया च ताडितस्. चलात्यशक्तोऽपि निराश्रमोदके. Would Mataji like to give a try? The shloka is too hard to even put it into a meter of singing. So understand the meaning now. Please repeat after me. Under the scorching sun, the criminal has to pass through roads of hot sand with forest fires on both sides. He is whipped on the back by the constables because of his inability to walk. And he is afflicted by hunger and thirst. But unfortunately, there is no drinking water, no shelter, and no place for rest on the road. How strong it is. That's why it is hard to even sing this one. Okay, we'll just do the prayer before we start this Bhagavatam discourse. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते. तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. हरेर्नाम हरेर्नाम हरेर्नामैव केवलं कलौ नास्त्यैव 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 गतिरन्यथा. श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you everyone for coming on Sunday morning. Sundays are generally your material involvements, cleaning, going to different parties, but you have come here for Bhagavatam. Thank you so much. And I seek blessings from all the Vaishnavas present here, that may the right word in the right context comes out of my mouth for the pleasure of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath and their devotees. Hare Krishna. So, as you have repeated after me the translation of this shloka, you can understand how strong our Vedas are talking about this description of Naraklok. So, there is no purport for this text 22, but there are, as you can see on the board, there are sequence of shlokas which is actually describing about what is this Narakloka. So there's further description in details in Canto 5, but this is in Canto 3. Basically, Kapila Dev actually is giving the instructions to his mother Devahuti on his mother's request of, can you please show me the self-realization path. So this is just a small part where Kapila Dev is actually telling his mother that how grave and how strong these actions, this law of karma is. It's beyond our understanding, and without knowingly or knowingly, either way, when we commit any sin, what are the effects of those sins? So I will just read the translations of next shlokas. So text number 23 of chapter 30 in Canto 3 is talking about the different degradation and the actual feeling of the punishments what the soul goes through. While the translation, while passing on that road to the abode of Yamaraj, he falls down in fatigue, and sometimes he becomes unconscious. But he is forced to rise again. In this way, he is quickly brought to the presence of Yamaraj. Text number 24. Thus, he has to pass 99,000 yojanas within 2 or 3 moments, and then he is at once engaged in the tortures, punishment which is destined to suffer. So, text number 24 is actually where the soul, when someone dies in this earth, the Yamadutas, they come with a big thick rope which is called Kalapash, and they suck the soul out of the heart. It's a very brutal action. You just suck it and drag it to Pitrulok. Now, when they drag it to Pitrulok, that is where it is said 99 yojanas. That's the difference between earth and Pitrulok. And that is covered within 2 to 3 moments. Scientists are still unknown. They don't know how to calculate and how to put an understanding to this, that what is this distance and what's the time covered. So, Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, 1 yojana is calculated to be 8 miles. And he has to pass, he means the soul, has to pass along a road which is therefore as much as 792 miles. Such a long distance is passed over within few moments only. So moments is like seconds, few seconds. The subtle body is covered by the constables so that the living entity can pass such a long distance. So as a soul, we cannot, because we have got a body, so we just came out of the soul has just come out of the body. So what this constable does, they cover the soul, and through their own potency, they swiftly go down to Pitrulok. The subtle body is covered by the constable so that the living entity can pass such a long distance quickly and at the same time tolerate the suffering. This covering, although material, is of such fine element that material scientists cannot discover what the coverings are made of. To pass 792 miles within few moments seems wonderful to a modern space travelers. They have so far traveled at a speed of 18,000 miles per hour. But here we see that a criminal passes 792,000 miles within few seconds only, although the process is not spiritual but material. So the soul is still in that universe, and the soul is able to transfer or speed up at that speed. It is still not spiritual, it is still material. How amazing. Text number 25, the translation. He is placed in the midst of burning pieces of wood, and his limbs are set on fire. In some cases, he is made to eat his own flesh or have it eaten by others. Sorry, Sunday morning, you have to go through this. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. From this verse, through the next 3 verses, the description of punishment will be narrated. The first description is that the criminal has to eat his own flesh, burning with fire, or allow others like himself who are present there to eat. In the last Great War, people in concentration camps sometimes ate their own stool. So there is no wonder that in the Yama Sadhana, the abode of Yamaraj, one who had a very enjoyable life eating others' flesh has to eat his own flesh. So there are people, when they come new to ISKCON, when the first thing the devotees say, stop eating meat. Then go away. It's better I don't come to temple because I want to eat meat. This is what happens to them. You like eating meat of others? You like roasting the meat of others? There you go. You roast your own skin and you eat it. The punishment is really severe. When people say that I have done only once, I have only eaten once, why am I getting punished for so long? So whatever you do once here, it gets multiplied into 1,000, and you get that 1,000 times punishment down there. It's similar to like, do you all drive? Do you all drive? Do you all drive? Okay. You don't. Okay. So whoever drives, they understand that you have to follow some rules. Whoever takes public transport, you know you have to follow some rules. What are the rules? In public transport, you have to have the ticket, the right ticket. $3, $5, whatever it is, right? But if one day you don't buy it, you get caught, how much would you get charged for? What is the punishment? $200. Come on, you just didn't pay for $5 and you're getting charged for $200, right? Times almost more than double, isn't it? Times 40. Yes. Yes. So what happens in this material world only, when you don't follow the rules of law of this land, this country, you get multiplied. You get multiplied than what you were supposed to pay. Then this is Lord's abode. If a country is set up for having good people, giving them good rewards and all, and for the bad people, naughty people, there is a punishment, there is a jail. If in this world the country is set like that, then this is Lord's abode. The Lord has also set certain places for those naughty people for the punishment. And that punishment is obviously 1,000 times more than what you have done it here. So text number 26. Translation. His entrails are pulled out by the hounds and vultures of hell, even though he is still alive to see it, and he is subjected to torment of serpents, scorpions, gnats, and other creatures that bite him. So the large intestine, the small intestine. Do you know how big is the small intestine of a human? Thank you, Prabhu. I was thinking in centimeters. Thank you. 12 meters. Okay. 12 meters. It's beyond the height of our normal, average human body. And if that has been plucked by someone with a sharp beak, it's coming out. You're looking at it, but you're not dying. So how is it possible you're looking at it and you're not dying? Because Yamaraj has given this soul a yatana sharir, a body which is bound to go through these tortures, and yet that body doesn't die. So that yatana sharir can go through all these tortures, but still the body gets tired and it gets unconscious. But again, he gets whipped by the constables of Yamaraj and he has to get up and he has to walk. You guys are all good here, but in some movies, if you see the torture of a very heinous king, how they do, it's the same way, in a more brutal way. The king looks beautiful in the movies, but in Yamaraj and Yamaduta's planet, they are horrible. Their eyes are like big, and it's light coming out of their eyes, as if the eyes itself is going to eat you. Forget about the pain you're going through it. It's dangerous. Text number 27. Translation. Next, his limbs are looped off and torn sunder by elephants. He is hurled down from hilltop, and he is also held captive either in water or in a cave. Text number 28. Translation. Men and women whose lives are built upon indulgence in illicit sex life are put into many kinds of miserable conditions in the hells known as Tamishra, Andatamishra, and Raurava. Srila Prabhupada explains, materialistic life is based on sex life. The existence of all the materialistic people who are undergoing severe tribulation in the struggle for existence is based on sex. Therefore, in Vedic civilization, sex life is all allowed only in a restrictive way. It is for the married couple and only for begetting children. But when sex life is indulged in for sense gratification, illegally and illicitly, both the man and the woman await severe punishment in this world and after death. In this world, also they are punished by virulent diseases like syphilis and Noria. I haven't even heard of these names. And in the next life, as we see in this passage of Srimad Bhagavatam, they are put into different kinds of hellish conditions to suffer. In Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, illicit sex life is also very much condemned. And it is said that one who produces children by illicit sex life is sent to hell. It is confirmed here in the Bhagavatam that such offenders are put into hellish conditions of life in Tamishra, Andatamishra, and Raurava. So, Kapiladev Muni is actually covering three departments of Naraklok. So, just to understand where is Naraklok, the oval shape of our universe, it's an oval shape, and at the bottom there is the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, there is the casual ocean there, and just above that ocean is the Naraklok. So, Naraklok is a planet, and just next to it, which is the southern part, is the Pitrulok. So what happens when someone dies? The soul is dragged to Pitrulok. There is a waiting period there. And that's why our Shastra says Shraddh is one of the very important ritual of a human's life. If you're born as a male, it is your responsibility. In whichever ashram you are in, you should perform Shraddh. Why? Because the soul which is waiting in the Pitrulok, who are they? They are our ancestors. They are our forefathers. And what are they doing there? They are actually praying for our well-being. They are actually praying for our good wishes. They are always praying about next generation, which is us. And it is our duty when the Shraddha, the actual Tithi, when our forefathers have died, we should remember that and we should pay obeisances and feed them. Feed nice prasadam, cook nice prasadam, because as per the earth calculation, one complete year is as good as one day in Pitrulok. And whatever food we offer them, that's what they are eating. Through Ayyamar, he's the demigod of Pitrulok, through his channel. It's pretty hard to understand that we are feeding there in earth and how come they are getting eaten here. It's like you write a check here in Australia and you pay in the bank which is in India or somewhere else, some other part of the world, and then you deposit this check here, that person, the other side of the world, gets the money. And he enjoys the money. If this is happening, if this can happen in this world, then why not this food can carry it away to Pitrulok? So Pitrulok, in Pitrulok, those souls are literally waiting for us to feed them. And if someone hasn't been offered that food, what acharyas say, that you make so much in bulk that when you offer it, when it goes to there, okay, you haven't got it, there you go. My great daughter-in-law, she has prepared this, In this way, we should always remember the Shraddha, the responsibility of a human. As a woman also, we should remember that this is our, in-laws' side and this is the dates, and we should help our husbands in fulfilling this basic ritual of our married life. There are lots of, and then the Naraklok has, as per Sukadev Goswami in Canto 5, the Naraklok has 28 divisions, 28 departments. Just like in school you have science department, English department, maths department. So there are 28 departments. Among those 28 departments, there's 3 which Kapiladev Muni is talking about in text number 28. So these 3 are Tamistra, Andhatamistra, Raurava. So there are particular sins when a soul commits, he goes to Tamistra. Particular sin when he commits, he goes to Andhatamistra. There's particular sin when he commits, he goes to Raurava. So the Tamistra, the eligibility of Tamistra department is when someone steals, when someone takes someone's property without asking them. Whether it's money, whether it's food, whether it's position, whether it's someone's wife, son, whatever, stealing. Andhatamistra is when you steal and then you use it also. Like someone has taken someone's wife and misbehaved with them. He goes to Andhatamistra, the one more level down. And the punishment there is horrible. The Raurava is one of the very interesting one. So people who make, they don't please others because it's not connected to them. It's me, mine. Oh, I have to take care of my son. Forget about others. Oh, they are from my temple. They are not from my temple. Oh, he's from my guru. He's my god brothers, my god family. That me, mine. Those kind. I'm not saying, okay. Those kind of souls go to Raurava. So what happens in these Tamistra, Andhatamistra, Raurava, Naraklokas, the departments? A soul which goes to Tamistra, he's been entrapped in a very dark room and he's been whipped hardly. So he's whipped so much that he forgets everything. He forgets also what he has done, that he is getting those punishment. The person who is in Andhatamistra, who goes in Andhatamistra, not only he is being whipped, his mind, his intelligence, understanding that where he is He forgets. He can't even see his own limbs because the room is so dark. And in Raurava, the Raurava department in Narak Lok, where the soul taken to, because he has differentiated. He hasn't. When it's written, when you don't understand that you're not the body, you're the soul, that is a sin. That is a sin. And you go to Raurava planet. Yeah, you go to Raurava department. And in this department, again, you've been tortured. You've been tortured very hardly. So the first text which we read today is 22. It's talking about the same punishment. Under the scorching sun, the criminal has to pass through roads of hot sand with forest fires on both sides. So there's hot sand and there's fire on both sides. And he's whipped. Why? Because he's not able to walk. He's falling down. He's fatigued. He's tired. Then he gets unconscious. And the constables whipped him nicely. Get up. You have to walk. And then he's thirsty. He's hungry. There's no food. There's no water. And there's not even a place for him to just take some rest. Some break from punishment. He doesn't get that break from punishment. He has to walk. So this is really very gross. But it is quite hard to understand, as per the law of karma, what actions when we do is actually incurring sin. What actions, because most of us who are intelligent, they will not deliberately do or perform any sinful act. But just like a simple statement that you are not the body, you're the soul. And if someone doesn't understand that, that's a sin. Law of karma is very stringent. It's very hard to understand. It's beyond our intelligence. And how do we still maintain a life in material world without committing sin? It's not possible. It's not possible. Because I'm creating so many sins, I don't know. I'm sitting here, I'm creating so many sins, I don't know. I'm driving on the road, I'm walking, I'm sneezing. These are all my natural thing. I have to do it. I can't stop it. People say, okay, to get away from this sin, I will go to mountains and sit there, I'll leave my family. But again, you're going there. You're sitting again in a place. You're breathing. That taking in of air and releasing carbon dioxide has some karmic reaction. Where will you go? How can we escape? We cannot. As soon as we have come to this earth, there is a constant karmic reaction going on and on. It's adding on to your account. As soon as a child is born, the first thing he does is cry. How much sin he is incurring? Who knows? The child is just born. Since then, this karmic reaction is building up. And even if we don't want to, we get bounded up into it. And forget about the actions which people do deliberately. The actions which they know it's not right, like killing someone, abducting someone. They have to definitely go through that strong punishments. And why does someone, apart from the daily life of a human being, why does someone goes through these sinful actions? Does anyone wants to try? Why does someone goes through these sinful actions?
Because of ignorance.
Thank you. Because of ignorance. Any other? Avidya, ignorance. Yes. Thank you.
Because of impression.
Yeah, that's one level high, the soul carries an impression from different yonis of life. That's one level high. But the basic one in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna is saying, I don't want to fight. I'm going to incur so much of sin by killing my own people. I don't want to fight. And why can't they, the people, Kauravas in front of me, why can't they understand that killing me or my brothers, they are going to incur sin? Okay, they don't understand, but I am understanding it. I don't want to fight. What is it that impels us, knowing very well that this is a sin, but we still do the sin? What is it? It's a question to you all. What is it? The Kauravas knew very well that killing someone, they are more advanced than us. We haven't even seen how Vedas looks like. They have seen, they have read, they have practiced it. But still, in Mahabharata Yuddha, they are standing in front of their own brothers, cousins, and they are ready to kill. What is it? What impels them to do such heinous act? Sorry? Free will to decide whether to kill or not. Yes, but false ego. Yes. Pride. Yes. It's the lust. Lust for acquiring the power. I want the power. I need this land. I want to rule. That I. It's a pap. It's a sin. And when someone goes through that sin, he doesn't understand what the consequences will be. He just wants to get it. He just wants to do it. So in in Bhagavad Gita 3.16, Shri Krishna says, one who does not follow in the human life the cycle of sacrifice as per Vedas leads a sinful life. Only for satisfaction of senses, if he lives his life, he is actually living in vain. So sacrifices, like I just one example, that as a human who have taken birth in this earth, we have a very basic right, and this is a responsibility that we should follow Shraddh. We should follow the Shraddh as per our Pitru's Tithi. To please them who are there in Pitrulok for our benefit. So these are few responsibilities which every human has, which we follow it. And when we don't follow it, again, it's a pap. The main thing which Shri Krishna says to Arjuna, that what is it that impels us, knowing very well that this is not good and we still do it, it's, as I said, it's the lust, which is in chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita in 37. Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidhi eva iha vairinam. It just bewilders our mind. It just takes away the understanding, the intelligence to understand that this is wrong. Vairinam is enemy. You are doing something. You are doing something which is not to be done. So sin is a constant thing. It's as per law of karma. It will keep on coming. What should we do to stop it? When you have done something wrong, what do? Prashchit. Correct. Atonement. Right? We go, say suppose I have said something harsh word to you, I realized it, I've said it, so I just go and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I was going through this, blah, 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 whatever. You explain yourself, you make that person comfortable, that person has understood and that person has, forgiven you. Prashchit. But does this really nullifies the karmic reaction? So in Canto 5, Shukdev Goswami is actually just quickly telling what 28 departments of Narakloka are. And then he wanted to go to the next chapter or next teaching. But Parikshit Maharaj said, no, stop it. I want to understand what each, department of Narakloka is and what happens when people go there and who go there. So there where Shukadev Goswami is actually explaining that it is very hard to understand and manage. Even if you are doing atonement, even if you are doing the prashchit, it's the nature of the soul which wants to commit it again and again. It's not that easy. Once you have done that prashchit, that there's no guarantee that you will not do it again. So Shukadev Goswami is saying the best thing, obviously you need to do prashchit, the best thing is the vidya. You just said avidya is the cause of creating and committing sins. The best thing to understand and to eradicate the sin at all from our life, even after atonement, we do incur. There is, like when you drop water from the glass, there's still wet around. There's still droplets of water on that, in the glass. It's not completely dry. The sin is like that. Even if you do atonements, even if you do a rigorous prayashchit, you are still alive, right? There will be sin. There will be law of karma which is affecting your karma. There will be always. The only best thing, as per Shukadev Goswami, to Parikshit Maharaj's advice is the Gyan. And what is the Gyan? Coming to Bhagavatam class, sitting here, you're actually getting Gyan. Because this is not the words coming from this individual, this is the word coming from the Lord, and we are just an instrument. And for that sake, I'll just quickly grab this opportunity. People who are listening from, various media like Facebook, Mayapur TV, it is hard for them to understand the Gyan. They will not understand the Gyan. All they will have is information. There's a difference between having information and knowledge. Information is information which you know, do, don't. And knowledge is a knowledge which you know when to apply that. And it only happens when you are pratyaksha, when you are physically in front of your guru's lectures or your guru's discourse or someone else, some acharya is giving classes. It is said that when we are sitting personally in the class, when there is a class, there is raj, the air particles which carries that blessing. And blessing of, not that individuals obviously, but blessing of Radha Gopinath. Blessing of the deities. That's what which comes and stucks to your body. It goes into your understanding, consciousness. That is knowledge. Of course we need information. And of course we need that transformation of information to knowledge to apply it in our life. So Shukadev Goswami is very strong in this part. And he is explaining that we have to follow the rules as per human, and we have to understand the knowledge. If you're driving on road of NSW, Australia, and if you don't know that U-turn is illegal in NSW, and you take a U-turn, what will happen? You'll get fined. Now if you tell to this police that, sorry, I'm from Victoria, and in Victoria U-turn is allowed, here is not allowed, I didn't know. What will he say? Sorry mate, there you go, your ticket. He won't listen to you, he won't listen to this silly excuse. Then why would Yamaraj listen? There are rules, it is set very nicely, it's our responsibility to understand what are the rules. If we don't know the rules, it's not anyone else's mistake, it's our mistake. Why? Because human life is a very precious life. It has given to us for intelligence. It has given to us with intelligence. This is where we are different than animals. The fourth thing which is basic, which we do, they do, there's only one thing which is not basic, which is not common to them, is this intelligence. And how we use this intelligence, avidya, vidya, that is going to incur law of karma, sin and all. Narak, nara plus ka, if we do sandhi vichhed, nara means human. Only humans go to naraklok. Animals don't go. Animals don't go. They also have their karma. Law of karma also goes to them. But only humans, nara, goes to Naraklok. That's why the name of this hellish planet is Narak. Nara plus Ka. So what is that? That's only the intelligence. How the human is using his intelligence is going to calculate what kind of a department he will be going, or he may not be going. It's up to us to understand, okay, fine, I have given this human body, I need to understand how to utilize it. I cannot work on whimsically, I cannot work on this is what I think, this is what Google is saying. If Google is saying this is correct. No, this is where our intelligence is. This is where as a human we should follow this intelligence very carefully. Because this life is given to us to understand the connection between us, the Jiva and the Supreme Lord. The soul and the super soul. In Bhagavad Gita, so because after reading this 6 text, definitely we all get scared. There's no escape. Even when we are breathing, we are incurring sin. There's no escape. What to do? So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, Lord says that how to get out of these sins, it's an activities, and offer the result to the Lord. When we cook, or for that sake, when we have debate with someone, telling them, please don't eat meat, not because we want to dominate them, not because we want to show how ISKCON is great, because we understand it's written in Shastras what happens to those poor soul. Not because we just wanted to show them that we are superior and you are not because you're not reading Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Because we understand where will they go and we have compassion. So we tell them that don't eat. And what they say? That because you're not enjoying it, why are you stopping us? And this is where they also argue that, okay, you think that animals have legs, movement, they can shout, they can cry. If we kill an animal for our, tongue satisfaction, aren't you killing life by killing, grains, the crops, the fruits, the trees? Aren't you doing sin? Yes. That is a sin. As I said, even while breathing, forget about whether you are a devotee or non-devotee. Even breathing and air, we are committing sin. So definitely we are killing crops for our satisfaction. Definitely we are harvesting and then killing, taking out flowers, killing, offering it to the Lord. Definitely. But it is nullifying. And how is it nullifying? What's the difference? Sorry? Correct. We offer it. Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita again in chapter 3, Yagya Shishtashna Shanto Munchate Sarva Kil Vishay Bhunjate Te Tadham Papa Pachante Atmat Karanat. So if we offer whatever we cook to the Lord, we are actually taking away the sins while the process of, washing, cutting, cleaning, whatever sins we have incurred, it goes away. And people who are definitely vegetarian, not doing that heinous job of killing an animal, they are vegetarian, but they are not offering the food stuff to the Lord, they are eating only sin. So, people who are eating meat and fish, they are definitely eating sin, but the people who are vegetarian but not offering the food to the Lord, they are also verily eating only sin. So Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam pacifies us that it is hard, it is really hard to keep a track of how many sins we have incurred, how many sins we have done. But the best way is, number one, not to identify ourselves with the body. So when we don't identify ourselves with the body, we take care of everyone as one. So if there is a food outside, we make sure everyone has eaten. If there is this much, we'll make sure there's times 20 everyone has got. We won't take this much because I like him, her, I'll give it to her and the rest, baad mein gaya. We don't do that. We take care of each other because we have compassion. We understand we are the soul, you are the soul. The Supreme Personality is in every living entity. So we take care of everyone equally. Secondly, we make sure that whatever we are doing, we are offering it to the Lord. That's why Srila Prabhupada always says, and how wonderful Srila Prabhupada has created this ISKCON. You like singing? Okay, sing for Lord. You like dancing? Okay, dance for Lord. You like playing mridanga? Okay, play for Lord. You like cooking? Okay, cook. You like, painting and drawing? Make nice painting pictures for Lord. Whatever you like, you offer it to Lord. Whatever you like, you can dovetail it to the service of the Lord. So in ISKCON, all kind of people are there. All kind of people are there, and together we make a family. That's how Srila Prabhupada has made this ISKCON very nicely. So obviously, these texts are very scary, but also we have got some subtle way of understanding that at the end of the day, we can't keep a track of it. All we do is whatever we do, we offer it to the Lord. If we are going to job, definitely we are in an ashram where we have to work, we have to pay the bills, we have to also donate to the Lord. We have to also donate to the temple, whatever festivals are coming. Now there are big festivals, line by line they are going to come. Yeah, we have to do not only services, but we also, as much as we can. I also don't know whether I'll be able to get holidays. Maybe, I don't know. But make sure you're there. You're there for each other. You care for each other. And then there's a very simple say, one of the disciple of Srila Prabhupada, we don't know what we are doing. We don't know what we are following. All we know is we will hold on to Srila Prabhupada's dhoti and we'll go wherever we want to. We just hold on to Srila Prabhupada's dhoti. And what does this mean? Just follow his books. Follow his words through his books. Vapu and Vani. We don't have his Vapu, we have his Vani through his books. So, yeah, though the Sunday morning has come up with a very kind of a thunderbolt with these strong words of Srimad Bhagavatam, but I hope I haven't scared you all. There is a small tinge of hope. We all are here. The fact that we all are here Sunday morning for Srimad Bhagavatam class, there's definitely a ray of hope for us. That we are not going to go through all these 28 departments of Naraklok. I want to end the class here. If anyone wants to share anything, or have I made any mistakes, you want to correct me, please by all means do it. None of us is perfect. So, yes. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, it was a very nice class. So one thing, this question is out of our discussion. You mentioned about Pitru Loka, right?
Yes.
So you mentioned about Pitru Loka, and Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whoever wants to go to Pitru Loka, they can go to Pitru Loka. Whoever worshipping Demiga, they will go to Demiga. If someone is worshipping me, he will come to me, like the Lord Krishna says.
Okay.
My question is, Pitru Loka is, you said, kind of department of Maharaloka.
No, I didn't say that. I said it is next to Narakloka, and it is kind of a transit. It's a transit place.
Okay. And my question is, why would people want to go to Pitru Loka? That's my question.
It's not the soul's desire. It's not as per the soul's desire. The soul has been taken, dragged to Pitrulok, and in Pitrulok they are waiting for the justice. Justice hasn't done yet. So they are waiting there. It's like you're going to Nepal, right? You're going to Nepal and you have taken Singapore Airlines. So where will you stop? Singapore. Now if you say, no, I don't want to stop in Singapore, I want to stop in Bangkok, then Baba, take the Bangkok flight, na? Why are you taking Singapore flight? So similarly, there is this transit. So as soon as the soul leaves the body, he is being dragged by that rope, that strong rope to Pitruloka. So he's waiting there. And it is said by Acharyas that there's a long waiting list in Pitruloka. And from there, they are being dragged to Yamaraj. So they come in front of Yamaraj. Yamaraj is sitting with all his Yamadutas, and he calls Chitragupt, come on here, open his, activities, what he has done when he was a human. So Chitragupt opened his books and he says, oh, nowadays Chitragupt doesn't have to write in book. They have got AI, artificial intelligence. So he looks up and he says, oh, my dear Lord, he has taken up 1, 2, 3 hard disk. Give him more punishment, 3, 4 punishment. So from there they decide whether which department of Naraklok he will go, or whether he should go up. He has done everything good. Okay, take him to the heavenly planets. Let him enjoy.
That means the Pitriloka. That is like after soul passes the body, all the soul has to go there.
Yes.
All the soul.
Yeah, they all go there.
They are sinful, non-sinful.
Okay, there is a Prabhu. Do you know the proper shastric definition? When the soul don't go to Pitralok but go to Golak Vrindavan Dham. Do you know any? No, I'm asking. I'm asking you, Prabhu. So basically, there are few instances. I don't know the shastric, shloka numbers and all, but when the soul definitely, like you see the case of Dhruva Maharaj, definitely he didn't go to Pitrulok. He was being taken care by Vishnu Dutas. So there are instances when a soul is a real pure soul, like Dhruva Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj. Those pure great soul, they don't go to Pitrulok. Pitrulok is for people like us who are practicing devotees, or people who have done sins, or people who have done really good punyas. So there's a difference between punya and devotional service. There are 3 kind of activities, right? Good activity, bad activity, and devotional activity. So people who does devotional activities definitely are taken care by Vishnu Dutas. But Pitrulok falls for these 2 categories. Good people doing good activities and people doing bad activities. It's for those categories.
That is like a Pitriloka is the judgment.
It is a waiting area for the judgment. For the judgment. Judgment hasn't done yet. That's why they are waiting there.
Thank you. One more question. Like Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, like if you want to go, whoever is worshipping for others, they will go to Pitriloka. Like why would like someone really want to? I want to go to Pitriloka. Why would like?
No, see, this is what the intelligence, avidya and vidya, right? This is what the intelligence. I understand. I have seen in India people doing that. So within their deities, forget about demigods and supreme god, whatever. Within their altar, they will put their nannies or fathers or grandma's picture also. But they don't realize that they are actually worshipping. And see, this is where the intelligence comes. You need to understand that you are not only worshipping the deities in the altar, you're also worshipping your own pitrus. Because that's what they think, that this is the respect. Say, suppose I like my grandmother a lot. I'm so attached to her. When she leaves, I don't want to leave her. See, again, this is an attachment, right? This is where the knowledge is very grave. It's easy for me to say, it's easy for you to hear, it's very hard to apply. I love my grandmother, that's why when she passed away, I put her picture on my altar, but I don't realize that I'm actually worshipping her even after she's dead. So definitely wherever she's going, I will follow her. So law of karma falls, and then I'll be dragged there after my death. We don't realize that. But when we don't realize that, that doesn't give us a license to escape from this sin, to escape from this punishment. We go through that punishment. And that's why it is said that you're human, please use your brains wisely. Thank you, Prabhu. Any more?
So eventually from Pitraloka they will fall down, right? Even if we perform the rituals so that they sustain there, but if we don't perform the rituals, they fall down.
If we, in the sense, humans in earth. So if humans in earth are not following the Shrad.
If we don't perform the rituals for our ancestors,
Shrad.
then potentially they can fall down. So I think that's
Law of karma is not that simple. Why would they fall down? Because of someone else's mistake. Right? It's their generation. But yes, there is a part of it. And what happens is when we don't follow that Shraddh, they are basically waiting for us to offer, and we don't do that. So rather than praying for our well wishes, praying for our good wishes, they actually curse us. So we get curses from them also.
So, but eventually they won't get liberated.
Oh, you're talking about that. Yes. So what happens when a soul knows that he has his forefather sitting in Pitrulok and he wants to liberate them? The best thing is Srimad Bhagavatam. We can liberate them. But we cannot, through our actions, we cannot drag down or we cannot change their punishments.
But I heard it in one of the lectures that even if you have some of your ancestors in Pitraloka,
Right.
mentioned in Garuda Purana that even if one person in that generation or lineage is a Hare Krishna devotee, then there are chances that everybody gets liberated.
Correct. We can liberate them, definitely. It said they get the, you get a ticket to go to Europe. Now it's up to you whether you want to use it or not. So if I am doing chanting properly, if I am doing my bhakti properly, 7 generation behind me and 7 generation who haven't even seen the world yet, they get liberated automatically. Again, there is an asterisk sign to it. They get liberated only if they apply it, only if they follow it, only if they practice it. So there is a ticket to them. 7 generation behind me, they got the ticket to go to Golak Vrindavan. 7 generation coming in future, they get the ticket to go to Golak Vrindavan. It depends on them. Again, avidya and vidya. It depends on them how intelligently they use the intelligence and use that ticket, which is already in their hand. And see, definitely, all of us has some kind of sukriti. That's why we are following this Vishnu Tattva. That's why we are following Srila Prabhupada's. So definitely someone in our family must have done this. And because of them, we are getting this opportunity. So yes. Okay, so we'll end this class. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.